Hey, friend. Hey, and welcome back to another episode of Boss Talk with Moet. Of course, you already know that my name is Moet, which stands for Motivation Over Everything That Trends. And I am your motivational queen. I created this platform for entrepreneurs, artists, anybody that has a story to tell, anybody that is doing something with their life and different things like that, just to come on and be able to tell your story because you can always gain a lot of insight from the stories of other people. Today, I have a super dope photographer. Her name is Berlanda. She goes by B. She's based out of the Texas area. She's super dope, super amazing individual, super charismatic, all of that good stuff. And I'm going to allow her to introduce herself. Tell the people who you are, where you're from, what you do, and how they can follow you.
Okay, cool. Hey, everybody, how y'all doing? My name is Berlanda. I go by B. On Instagram, I have two pages. I have my personal one where you could just follow along and get into like the nitty gritty of my life. Well, not so much of my life, but the photography aspect of it. Um, and that one is underscore big burr underscore. And then my photography page, which is more so like my portfolio, is under B captured. Um, yeah, that's just a little bit about me and how you can find me. I guess, Moet, I'll leave it to you to, I guess, lead this interview.
All right. So, how long have you been doing photography and what got you started?
I've been shooting since 2019. So funny story, like I was shooting off of my phone all the time, and at the time it was like I had an Android, so the pictures. I don't know if you're an Android user, my bad, but um, I was just shooting off my phone, and then my sister, she just constantly was telling me, "Why don't you just get a camera? Why don't you just get a camera?" And then finally, I got my camera, and I started taking pictures off of it. And it wasn't as easy as I thought it would be. To be honest, I thought it was gonna be like, okay, cool, because I was able to like do the compositions and uh, get the lighting and all this other stuff off my phone. But when I got my camera, it was kind of harder to figure out those settings. I felt like a fish out of water, and I was like, oh, okay, maybe this isn't for me. Um, then after some time, I decided, like, I got that bug again to start shooting. And then so I ended up like just getting back onto it. And ever since then, I just kept going. I started meeting some people along the way that were just super helpful and inspirational as well. And I just dove into it and didn't stop from that point.
Nice, nice.
Hmm.
So, how long have you been in the Texas area?
I'm kind of like fresh out of here. Like, I'm from Florida originally, born and raised. I come from a Haitian household, so sac passe all my zoes. And so I've been in the Texas area for maybe November will make it 2 years officially. Yeah,
Nice,
that
nice.
I've been here.
So I know that
Hmm.
you and JFL Fred do some things together, different things like
Yes.
that. How did that process go as far as like meeting him, working with him, different things like that?
It's so funny because it was someone that introduced us. So, one thing that I always say is if you're on the right path, you're going to end up finding the people along the way that's going to just help nurture whatever you're into. So, luckily for me, Fred is like one of those people. I've been pretty grateful. So someone introduced us, and they just said, like, literally, she said, "I think you two should meet, and I think y'all will be like, great collaborators." So we've been going strong ever since.
Amazing, amazing.
Hmm.
So with that, talking about like having confirmation on your path, on your journey, different things like that, how like what kind of tips would you give someone to know whether they are on the right path as far as like following their passion and following the things that they want to do?
So I do a lot of reading. There's this book that I read that was super inspirational to me. And again, that was off of someone that just decided, I don't know, we were having a conversation. They said, I think this book would be good for you. and that book is called The Alchemist. I'm not sure if most of you read it, but it's a pretty popular book. Um, and that book just speaks about just following your like well, they call it your personal legend in the book. So um, but that could be anything for you, and that was for me photography. So one thing that was said in the book was that, and I'm going to paraphrase it here, um, when pretty much it's like when you're on your path, the universe will conspire to like put everything together for you. And it's you'll see it through like little signs, I believe. Like I said, for instance, this woman introduced me to Fred, or people just come along the way and just said, I think this will be good for you. Or, God provides, He always does. I'm not sure what everyone's beliefs is, but, you know, um, it for me, that's what happens. Like, I feel like God's been providing for me, providing the resources, the people, and if you're paying attention, you will see that life does provide for you with whatever your dreams are. Like if you're going towards them with intensity, you'll see that like the universe is going to provide it for you.
Definitely, definitely.
Hmm.
So, what would you say is one of your biggest accomplishments so far in your career?
I don't know. Like that's a tricky question for me, just because I feel like I haven't gotten to what I wanted to achieve yet. So it's not really, I mean, I've done some pretty interesting things. So I'm not gonna like, you know, knock those things down because they were great. Like I'm fresh off of like Dallas Fashion Week. So that was really fun to do. But my goals and aspirations, I haven't reached them. They're a little higher than that. So I'm just hoping to reach them. But I've accomplished quite a few things. Like I said, I've worked at Dallas Fashion Week, and that was great. I've never got the chance to do that before. Like, or quite a few fashion shows here. I never got the opportunity to do that while I was in Florida. So Dallas has opened a lot of doors for me. Working with individuals um, like opening those type of doors where I'm working with people that I would have never met under regular circumstances. So I'm very grateful for it. And even going to places that I never thought I would be in. Like I remember this family, they were just visiting Florida from Massachusetts, and I tell you, I was walking into like this $1 million home. That it was just so absolutely beautiful, like something you would just see in the magazine or something like that. I hate to sound like I ain't never been nowhere, but like, yeah, it was just like, wow, this is amazing. Like, under normal circumstances, I don't think I would be here, but I am. So I'm super grateful for that. I can name some others, but I can't think of them off the top of my head. I just always feel like there was always more to do. You know what I mean? Um, so it's like, okay, this is cool, but what's the next thing to do? And um, what's the next accomplishment, because those aren't really my accomplishments, they're steps to what I want to accomplish, if that makes sense.
Right, totally,
Mhm.
totally. And I know I had read it somewhere where they were like that the top of one mountain is just the bottom of another one. So you
Oh
just got to keep going.
yes.
So,
Hmm.
yes, I could definitely relate in regards to that. So, let's talk a little bit about your journey in regards to like your transition into photography, your transition into moving to Dallas, different things like that. What's one of the things that you've struggled with that you had to overcome, and how did you overcome that?
Ooh, my transition here, it's been pretty rough. um yeah, I don't know if I admit that in public, but I guess so. Yeah. It's been kind of rough, this like just settling in. I literally changed careers, everything, because I was doing dialysis for about close to 6 years, and then um, now I'm like, in the tech industry. But I had to, there was like a moment of transitioning for that where I had to like take the time to study and, also try to do photography at the same time because that was like my main source of income too. So, man, it was like, also just trying to find the right people. And I think that was my issue too, because I was trying as opposed to letting it happen. Like when I said, mentioned earlier, when I met Fred, it was through someone else. As opposed to like, oh, hey, there's someone I think I should meet. Which I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but a lot of times, it's like if you're trying too hard, you find yourself in circumstances that you wouldn't have been in otherwise, like because you're not letting God like light that path for you, as if you're just trying to make your own way, and sometimes it's not usually the best thing, way to go. So I yeah, that transition from Florida to Dallas, just trying to understand how things work, um, who the people are, because it's a little different from like the East Coast to living in Dallas. Um, so yeah, I had to understand all of that, and even down to like because I do, I guess like I mentioned, I have like a 9 to 5 as well. So photography is like my it's more like my passion project, I guess you could say, but I want to grow into it a lot more. Um, so I think, yeah, it was just a lot of growing as a person as well. The person I was like maybe 2 years ago is not the same person today. Definitely feel like I've matured more and grown into who I am. Very confident with what I want out of life and things like that. So, yeah, it's been
Definitely.
a transition for sure.
Definitely, definitely. And I know it can be different from like especially how the weather is, the cultures,
Oh
everything
my
like that.
God. I'm learning when people say bless your heart, it could not be, it sometimes might not be a nice thing. So, oh my gosh, girl. So I've heard a few bless your hearts before. And I'm like, okay, I don't know. At first I was like, oh, how nice. This person's really like, just, you know, wishing the best for me. And meanwhile, they're like, man, that girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh-huh. So I don't
Definitely.
know. That bless your heart. I'm telling you. And then what else? Like the heat, man. This summer it was like extremely, extremely hot. I just felt like as though it was like 110 for like 3 months straight, just trying to survive off of that. Now I'm coming off of humidity, which is cool, but I feel like the breeze from the beach just kind of cools you down a little bit. Because when I went back to visit home, I think that was probably June or July. I can't remember. Um, it was, and I got to stop calling it home. I live here in Dallas now. I don't have a residential address in Florida, but when I went back, it was nice. It was nice and cool, but everybody else was like, "Dang, it's hot." I was like, "Oh my goodness, y'all don't know what 110 degrees Fahrenheit is like. That's hot. That's really hot." So I had to learn to survive off of that, which was mainly staying inside and blasting the AC. So that was a trend.
Right.
Just trying to learn how to live off of that.
Definitely,
Hmm.
definitely. So, in regards to your career, how
Hmm.
important would you say that like networking and actually putting yourself out there has been, and how has that process been as far as like really putting yourself out there and allowing yourself to be open to work with other people?
Oh, I think it's almost necessary with what we have to do. As a photographer, I don't. Maybe somebody else might say something different, but for me, I felt like it was necessary just because I'm new here. So that's something to do. Like when you're entering into certain spaces, sometimes other people have to be the ones to introduce you into them. Um, when it comes for your business and stuff. I could speak to someone and then they might not receive me well, but when someone else like vouches for me, like, that helps. Or going to certain events and shaking hands with people as opposed to like doing online marketing and spamming people. I feel like more face to face um, works with getting clients, and then afterwards, once they get to know me, word of mouth starts to work. So I felt like that was pretty much important. That was really important for me. Still is.
Yes,
So.
definitely. I agree.
Mhm.
I feel like that is the case for whatever facet of career that you're in, whatever it is that you're doing, whatever the case may be. So,
Mhm.
what is one of the biggest things that you're looking forward to in your career?
Ooh, making this like a full time thing. Like, I'm not trying to clock in no more. I mean, I like my new career path now. I like being in tech. I'm in help desk now. I'm learning to grow into that as well. So, but man, I want to do photography full time. And then, like, I'm gonna put it out there, like maybe even do covers and stuff, like, for people. Next time Jada wants to do something messy again, I'm gonna be the one to take the photo for that cover, like on People Magazine. I don't know, like, something like that. So that's what I'm looking forward to in my career, going full time, and then just doing more notable work. Oh, and also something that I really want to do is like get into like prints and stuff. There's a few photographers that I'm obsessed with, and I got the chance to meet one of them, and I'm looking forward to meet the other. Um, and I they do like fine art photography, so that's like a facet that I want to kind of get into. I thought that was very interesting, just because you create your own rules when it comes to that. Like, now you're the one that says, I have this vision in my mind and I want to release it out into the world, and let's just see how people receive it. Like, now you're an artist as opposed to clicking in the camera and doing what someone, like, oh, I want to look like this. Can you pose me like that, or can you do my birthday shoot? I mean, nothing wrong with those, but I want to be able to create as well. Like, um, that's something that tends to happen too in photography, because you want the business. So sometimes you get like stuck with like stuck in a mold that people create for you. So you're not being as creative. So I want to do something a little bit more creative for me, like just have like that vision come out of my mind, and see it on a printed like see it in a print somewhere.
Right, like being able
Mhm.
to completely break out of the box and just no hold
Yes.
bars, just do whatever it is that you want to do. Like, and you can
Hmm.
do it. You will be able to do it. You will be able to
Yeah.
do it. It's just a matter of starting it. Like, just starting it. Like,
Exactly,
maybe on the
girl.
sideline and like some free time outside of regular photo shoots, like just get you like some volunteer muses and be like, yo, I got this idea. Who wants to be a part of it? You'll be surprised at how many people would like to be a part of projects and be like, "Oh, me, 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 me." So you'll be
Girl, yes.
surprised, honestly,
No,
honestly.
and you know what though? That's literally how my creativity started at first. I would just ask people like, "Hey, can I shoot you?" Like, I'll go on YouTube and I'll like learn techniques off of YouTube, and then I'll get on there and I'm like, "Oh wow, okay, let me try it. Let me see who's available to like to shoot with me and try this new technique or something like that." It's been kind of difficult getting back to that, just like I said, with the transitional period. Just like, okay, I'm in survival mode. I gotta like, you know, get these bills paid first. So once I feel like I'm in a state of comfortability, then is that even a word? Oh my word.
I
But
think it is. I
okay,
I think my brain says that it is. I
you know
believe
what?
so.
We just gonna go along with that. It's the both of us just saying it, then it's a word. So once
Right.
I get in a state of comfortability, I'm gonna say it again. Hopefully it picks up if it's not a word. Then yeah, for sure, I think I'm gonna get back into like doing more creative using photography as more of a creative outlet. Um, Not even I think I got a few projects in mind already. It's just a matter of putting the time into it. So yeah, once that gets done, I don't know. Be on the lookout, y'all.
Yeah, for sure. And I
Hmm.
believe you're going to do it. You're going to do it. It's
Yes,
going to be amazing.
I can't wait.
So, one last question. If you could
Mhm.
go back and talk to your younger self, what would you say to you?
Girl, get that camera. Get that camera. Start earlier and don't listen to people. Like, just do you. As I mentioned earlier, I grew up in a Haitian household, so a lot of times there's a lot of judgment passed there, or there's a lot of you know um, laws being passed in the house where you got to do this, you got to be like that, you got to, especially being the oldest, you get like that older sibling syndrome where you feel restricted a lot of times. There you go, there's a lot of restrictions with what you're allowed to do. So this is like not a knock on my parents or anything, or even on my culture, but it's really just like that's just been my experience where I just felt like restricted, and I want to just pretty much just tell my younger self, like, go for it. Don't hold on, let me let this car pass. Yeah, like just don't let you know other people's thoughts or dictate what your steps are. Just follow your gut, follow your instincts, and you're gonna be more happier for it.
Right, definitely. I think like something that I talked about a little bit last week in regards to just life, like we're programmed a certain way in life. And so whenever we're out here and we're creatives and we're working on breaking out of the box, and it's like, hold on, well, what are the rules? There are no rules. The only rules that there are the ones that you create. The only
Right.
restrictions that there are the ones that you have, are the ones that you put in place. So a lot of times it can be hard for us to be working through those things and to overcome those things. But it's important for us to overcome those things so that we can truly tap fully into our true selves and everything like that. So I'm glad that you're on that journey and you're in that process and you're willing to step outside of the box. And I look forward to everything that you're going to create and everything like that. So, again, let the people know who you are, what you do, how can they book you, can they get in contact with you, all of that good stuff.
Okay, y'all. So last time, my name is Berlanda, and you can find me on Instagram under, let's go with my personal one, underscore B, Big Burr underscore, and that's BURR, Big Burr underscore. And then the other one is B Captured. So it's underscore BEE underscore captured. Um, and you can find me there. One is my personal, and then the other one is my portfolio. I'm a photographer in the Dallas area, and I look forward to connecting with you.
Amazing, amazing. Y'all definitely make sure that you go follow her underscore Big Burr underscore or underscore BEE underscore captured on Instagram. Connect with her. She's a super dope individual, super dope, amazing person. And thank you so much for taking your time out today to come on here and speak with me. And I look
Thank
forward to
you.
seeing you whenever I take a trip out to Texas sometime.
Girl, you better come out here. I owe you a drink or something. It was great talking to you.
All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and get up out of here. And I hope you guys have a wonderful and amazing week. If you guys are watching the replay, if you have not caught any gems, definitely start this over from the beginning and grab your notepad because definitely some gems were dropped. Remember that
Mm.
life is too short to be anything but motivated. Now get out there and turn your dreams into a vision and make that your reality. All right. See you guys next week. Bye.